Hello again, welcome to episode 21 of Travel Talk. I'm pretty impressed that it's 21 episodes now. I'm quite happy with myself for doing 21, but there's plenty more to come, so keep watching. Last episode we were in Dallas. We did the zoo, the indoor aquarium, the Texas Book Depository where JFK was shot from, which was all great things, all great experiences, especially the book depository. It was really enlightening. And then the negative side of Dallas, obviously we were robbed, we had our laptop stolen, I had my Kindle stolen, but these things happen. Can't pin that on Dallas. It's just two individuals who obviously didn't want us to have a good time. But like I say, these things happen, and don't dwell on it, move on from it. Life's more important than one small event. So yeah, we'd be moving on, like I say, this day. We'd be getting on the bus, and our first bus journey would be between Dallas and El Paso, which is the south end of Texas. We'd then get on another bus between El Paso and Phoenix, Arizona, and then the final bus would be between Phoenix and Flagstaff, where we'd be staying for 3 days and going to the Grand Canyon, which is really cool. So I'll dive into what happened. So the day we were leaving Dallas, we checked out of the hotel at about midday. Like I said in the previous video, the hotel offered to comp all of our international phone calls because of our stuff being stolen. They comped half the room for us, so we only paid half the bill, which was really good of them. Like I say, it wasn't their fault, and it was nice of them to make that gesture. And you know, it doesn't sour the Dallas experience. Like I said, I'd go back there again, but yeah, other than that, it's none of those things. So yeah, we jump on the first bus in Dallas at about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 2 p.m. in the afternoon. No, 2 p.m. kind of gives away afternoon. I don't know why I've said that. Yeah, we jump on there, and it would be an 11-hour bus ride between there and El Paso. Unfortunately, this bus, being the longest bus, had no Wi-Fi, and I had obviously no laptop or a Kindle to keep me entertained. So I was basically listening to music for 11 hours and trying to sleep, which was interesting. Yeah, definitely interesting. I don't sleep well on buses anyway. And after 11 hours, music does slightly get annoying. So it was a fun bus journey, it really was. Like I say, the bus stops off every once in a while to pick people up and drop people off. You get 10 minutes to stretch your legs, grab, I don't know, a drink out of the local shop or something. You don't have time to get a full meal, which is a shame, but you know, it happens, and get on with it. We had to take this long bus journey just so that we could continue our journey properly. We'd be wasting too much time if we did it any other way, so this was the quickest. If I say quickest, 20 and a half hours is not a quick journey, but it was the quickest way we could do it. So yeah, we arrived in El Paso at about 1 a.m, which obviously was really fun. Had to get all our bags off the bus, had an hour rest break, and then got on another bus, which would transport us between El Paso and Phoenix, Arizona. This bus did have Wi-Fi, so that was a lot better. Managed to actually get some sleep on the second bus, I think just through sheer exhaustion and boredom, which, you know, is understandable. And then we arrived in Phoenix at about midday the next day, and we'd have about a 15-minute wait for our next bus, which would transport us between Phoenix and Flagstaff, which is where we'd be staying, because it's the nearest place to the Grand Canyon, so that's pretty good for us. And yeah, we got to Phoenix, like I say, swapped our bags over, chucked them on the next bus, and we realised as well that the time difference had changed. So before, when we were in New York and Washington and Florida, the time difference between us and the UK was 8 hours, but the time difference between us was 6 hours, but it had now become 8 hours, so it's slightly more difficult to contact home now, because obviously we were travelling further and further around the world. But you know, it's not the end of the world. 8 hours isn't too bad. You can still contact home. It was still we did night and they did day. They did day and we did night. It was easy. And yeah, third bus journey didn't last too long. It was about 2.5 hours. This had Wi-Fi again, so woohoo. Wi-Fi, believe me, until you get on these buses and realise how little there is to do, Wi-Fi is the most precious gift in the world. I cannot underestimate how much we needed Wi-Fi on these buses, because there's only so much you can talk to each other about. and there's only so much music you can listen to. You have to look at the internet every once in a while. It gets so boring if not. But yeah, we arrived in Flagstaff at about 3 p.m. We were dropped off by the bus at the bus station and then picked up by someone from our hostel that we'd be staying in, which was cool. The hostel we'd be staying in would be in the centre of the historic district of Flagstaff and was about a 10-minute trip from the bus station, so that was pretty easy. It's a nice hostel. It was full of interesting people. There was a communal television room, a communal kitchen. There was a games room. There was the communal bathrooms, which was fun. What you need to realise is this was the first of many hostels we would stay in, but because it was the first one, we didn't know what to expect overall. But yeah, we settled in pretty quickly. We were sharing a room. The first night we didn't share a room with anyone, but we would eventually be sharing a room with someone. So that was pretty cool. Got to know the person that we shared with pretty well. And yeah, we were in bunk beds, which was a fun experience. I love the top bunk. I seem to always get the top bunk, even if I don't want the top bunk. But it was like being at like adult summer camp. It's really cool. So yeah, we settled in that night. We got some food out of their kitchen, watched a bit of TV in the communal TV room, talked to one American, a Canadian, and a German girl. We spoke to them for a few hours, just had a little chat with them. And then we just headed off to bed basically, because we would only have 2 full days in Flagstaff. One would be taken up fully by the Grand Canyon, so that gave us a full day to experience what else Flagstaff had to offer. So it's historic district that we were part of. Also, we needed to go shopping and replace things. I needed to replace my laptop because I was writing a blog at the time. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I wrote a blog for every day that we were away. And obviously not having a laptop meant I was doing it on my phone every day, and that just became awkward. So I had to replace my laptop and managed to actually get quite a good deal in the end, but I'll go into that the next episode. And I think I'll leave this here. It's a shorter episode, but obviously it wasn't the most exciting thing. And it just means that the next episode of all about Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon will be longer, and it'll have pictures and exciting stuff, and not just me on a bus listening to music for 20.5 hours, because that's boring. So yeah, while I've got a little bit of time left, I suppose I can just thank everyone for watching the first 20 episodes of Travel Talk. I've really enjoyed making them. I've really enjoyed looking back on my travels and showing you photos and videos. And I just hope to keep making these and hope people keep watching them, enjoying them. And yeah, recommend me to a friend and keep liking and subscribing. And I guess I'll catch you next time. This has been Travel Talk episode 21. See ya.